Hello friends, today we are going to talk about Raven's progressive matrices, the intelligence test developed by J.C. Raven. Part 1. In this part, we are going to talk about the development of the test, its components and its types, etc. And in the second part, we are going to learn about the administration of the test. So let's start. First and foremost, let's get to know what do we mean by an intelligence test. An intelligence test basically is a psychological test that is designed to test a variety of mental functions such as reasoning, comprehension, and judgment. There are a variety of intelligence tests available, but broadly speaking, there are two major types of intelligence tests: individual tests and group tests. In individual test, the tester works one to one with a person, with an individual, and takes the test. Usually, it is more detailed, in depth, takes longer to conduct an individual test. While a group test is more economical, a lot of people can be taken up in one go. It is shorter, and one person is able to take a test of a number of people together. Under individual test, we have two types of tests. One is verbal, the other one is non-verbal. Under group test also, we have two types of tests, verbal or non-verbal. Let's understand what do we mean by verbal tests. Now, these are the tests which would require the usage of any language, whether it is English, whether it is Hindi, whether it is even mathematics, wherein the sums would require the knowledge of mathematics. While the non-verbal test would not require any language, they would require the manipulation of patterns, understanding the patterns and decoding them. That would be the part of non-verbal test. As far as Raven's is concerned, it is a non-verbal group test. Let's get to know about Raven's progressive matrices. It is one of the most popular non-verbal group tests of intelligence. It was first developed for use in research into the genetic and environmental origins of mental deficiency by Dr. J.C. Raven in 1936 in UK, and it was published in 1938. The most recent version that we have was published in 1998. Let's have a look at an example of the kind of items that are there in this test. Here you can see a pattern, and there is a part of the pattern which has been chipped off. After that, we are given 6 choices, and out of these 6 choices, we have to choose one which will fit in here and complete the pattern. So let's see whether one fits in. No, it doesn't complete. Second, no. Third, no, this one also doesn't fit in. Fourth, no. Fifth, no. Sixth, yes. This one fits in. So likewise, first we have to gauge all the choices that are presented to us, and then we have to choose the most appropriate one which fits in the pattern and completes it. This is what is the test is all about. It's a non-verbal test of reasoning ability based on figural test stimuli, measures the ability to make comparisons, to reason by analogy, and to organize spatial perceptions into systematically related wholes. Now let's talk about how Raven's is a culture fair and a culture free test. Basically, the test items are free of any cultural influences, provides equal opportunities to all individuals who are examined. Problems are presented in 2 by 2, 3 by 3 and 6 by 6 geometrical designs. No past knowledge is required to do the test. It makes minimal use of language and can be used with both literate as well as illiterate individuals, and that makes it a truly culture fair and culture free test. Let's talk about the theoretical background of this test. Basically, this test measures the adaptive ability, a component of general G ability identified by Spearman in his two-factor theory of intelligence. Let's understand what is this adaptive ability. Basically, it refers to an individual's ability to make sense of complex data, the ability to solve new problems, use logic in new situations, and identify patterns. The ability to make meaning out of confusion, developing insights, that is what is adaptive ability. Let's understand the types of Raven's progressive matrices that are available. The colored progressive matrices, standard progressive matrices, and the advanced progressive matrices. Let's get to know the details of each one of them. First one is colored progressive matrices. As the name suggests, these are colored matrices. They're applicable to children in the age range of 5 to 11 years, the elderly, children with specific learning disorders, mentally and physically challenged individuals. What are the components of this test? There are three parts to this test: set A, set AB, and set B. Each part has 12 questions, totaling up to 36 questions in all. Here, have a look at an example. The figure here has been inverted. So we should be finding out an item which is inverted form of this figure. And the right answer here is B. Children usually take 15 to 30 minutes to do this. Next is standard progressive matrices, short formed as SPM. In this, we have black figures against a white backdrop, and this is applicable to 5-year-olds to the elderly. The components of this test, there are 5 subparts: set A, set B, set C, set D, set E. Each subpart has 12 questions, totaling up to 60 questions in all. An example has been put up here. There is a pattern which is being followed in these figures, and after discovering the pattern, the subject is supposed to find out the block which will fit in and complete the pattern here. Usually, people take 40 to 45 minutes to complete this test, but as such, there is no time limit for this test. The last one is advanced progressive matrices, short formed as APM. The level of difficulty of these matrices is much higher. It is used for adults and adolescents of above average intelligence. It has two parts, set 1 and set 2. Set 1 has 12 questions, while set 2 has 36 questions, totaling to 48 questions in all. There are number of patterns that are displayed, and there is an order that gets followed. The subject has to decipher the pattern and pick the right choice and complete the pattern. Usually people take 40 to 60 minutes to finish this. You must be thinking, why are these matrices again and again being called progressive matrices? Well, if you see all three matrices, as we move on from one question to the next and the next, the level of difficulty keeps on increasing with every question. That is why they are called progressive matrices. Why is it widely used? Let's get to know. It is considered a culture fair test, can be used with non English speaking persons. In fact, anybody speaking any language can take it. Also, it can be administered to both individuals and to groups. So that makes it a very cost effective test. Alternate forms are available, so it is able to cover people of varying ages and people of varying intellectual abilities. It has high correlation with many other intelligence tests that makes it a very valid test and it provides valid information about a person's cognitive abilities. It is suitable to be used with individuals who have physical disabilities, and above all, it's an interesting test. Practical uses of Raven. Raven basically has been used a lot in research, almost 2000 published studies, which are based on the research on ravens. Also, it is extensively used in educational, clinical, and occupational practice. Last, let's discuss the disadvantages of Raven's progressive matrices. It should not be used as a substitute for individual intelligence testing. Next, individuals who are suspected of having brain damage may have non-verbal reasoning difficulties, and they may not be able to arrive at a correct response in this test, so this test would not be apt for them. It may not provide a valid estimate of cognitive ability of examinees who are not capable of doing figural reasoning tasks. And also, it has been found that education influences the performance to a small degree in Raven's progressive matrices. That's all from my side, folks. The next video, we will be actually going through the administration of Raven's progressive matrices. So, see you there. Thank you.